Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Guru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Saksha Para Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ya Kunde Tutushara Dhavala Ya Shubhra Vastravita Ya Veena Varadanda Mandita Kara Ya Shweta Padmasana Ya Brahma Shuta Shankara Prabhutibir Devai Sada Vandita Sama Patu Saraswati Bhagavati Nishesha Jatapaha Shanti Shanti Shanti.
My humble pranams to the lotus feet of our Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Sai Ram to you all. I'm extremely happy to welcome you all Ottawa Sai Center's 2021 SSE graduation ceremony. This year, it's a very special day for our students, gurus, and parents. We are so grateful to Swami for giving us the opportunity to celebrate this event. This year has been a challenging amidst such an unprecedented time. With the immense help from gurus, students, and parents, the SSE team was able to complete a successful year of online classes. For some students, the year marks the beginning of new journeys. Some students will begin making new journeys. Some students will begin making memories into the new groups, while some of our senior students will begin a new chapter of life as they move on to university and join the Sai Center Youth. This year, we have seen incredible creativity from our SSE students. We have also seen the incredible perseverance and dedication from our gurus. It has been a privilege and pleasure being part of the SSE coordination team. My experience amidst Swami's presence have always been blissful. These past 2 years, it has been a one-of-a-kind of experience. I am always grateful, Swami, for giving this opportunity. And I also want to thank Gigi and Deepavali for all the support and guidance. Congratulations to all the SSE graduates today and kids moving to the next group. Now we will move on to our year-end program. Group 4 boys and girls will start the program with the year-end presentation, followed by slides presentation with the kids moving to the next group. After the presentation, the Group 4 gurus will present short videos of their graduating students. Without further ado, I would like to welcome the Group 4 boys and girls to present their program. Sairam.
Om Sai Ram. This year, Group 4 boys had the opportunity to choose a spiritual leader of their choice, analyze their teachings, and present it during SSE classes individually. During the presentations, they highlighted the values each leader's practiced and the correlation between Swami's main values and guiding principles. Today, they are sharing with you the summary of all of their presentations.
Alright, hello everyone. Today I'll be presenting you a spiritual world leader, the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama is a title that's been passed down from generation to generation to the reincarnations of the Dalai Lama. In this case, we're talking about the 14th Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, born on July 6, 1935, in northeastern Tibet. He has a very international reach, touching people all across the globe due to his educational systems, not only in the main office of Tibet, but all around the world, including Canada, the USA, Australia, and many other places. So there are a lot of similarities he has to Swami. The first being education. He places a great deal of importance on education of students in Buddhist spirituality, but also ethics. Obviously, they do academics like physics, math, science, all of the such, but specifically in ethics, he concentrates on wisdom, balance, discipline, metaphysics, and epistemology. And we can see that Swami as well does something very similar in his education, so as to show all the different values he has, the 5 Ds, all these things, so he can teach people how to be better citizens. The next similarity is nonviolence. The Dalai Lama is a strong believer in the art of non-violent conflict resolution. So he denounces religious conflict and really likes healthy interreligious discussions. And he talks to a bunch of other religious leaders and tries to find commonalities in religions and reduce conflict at all costs. Another very important thing that they both keep in mind is that don't let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. This was said by the 14th Dalai Lama, but also relates a lot to the teachings of Swami, as they both teach that it is your reaction that is important, not what is happening in the world around you. No matter what negative things are happening, as long as you take it with a good mindset, you can still achieve a happy result. Overall, that is the Dalai Lama. He has had a great impact on the world and continues to be a great religious leader.
I'm going to talk a little bit about George Lemaitre. So George is actually a scientist, and a little bit about him. He loved science. He was born in 1894 and passed away in 1996. He actually served in World War I, and he was really passionate about science, but also he was really interested in religion, and so he became a priest, but at the same time he studied science, and he completed his PhD from MIT. And so the main impacts of his career was that he actually helped develop one of the fundamental theories for the Big Bang Theory. And he published a paper in 1927 that tried to explain the origins of the universe at that time. And what's interesting about this is because we often associate science as an opposite force of that of religion. And so what George Lemaitre tried to do is he tried to unify both of those forces together. And so how did he do that? Well, his impacts really looped back to religion in the sense that in the 1950s, really, as soon as he started to gain traction with a lot of his theories, some religious leaders tried to use his explanation of the fundamental cause of the universe to try to validate religion. And so you can see how something like the Big Bang Theory actually paves the way for understanding of religion. And so it shows how science and religion actually go really well together, and how people have tried to use science as a way of trying to really prove their beliefs and ideology.
Hello, today I will be talking about Pope Francis. Pope Francis was born Jorge Mario Bergoglio in Argentina. He's the first pope from South America and has been the head of the Catholic Church since 2013. The Pope is a spiritual leader for more than 1/6 of the world's population. His goal was to end the Catholic image surrounding his church. To achieve this, he's allowed priests to forgive women for undergoing abortion. He also speaks often about many topics, including equality, peace, and the environment. He is constantly criticized for changing the church from many of the traditional Catholic people. Some of his accomplishments include rebranding the Catholic Church's image, going against clericalism, a major problem within the church system, and has made the Catholic Church open to the LGBTQ community to promote equality. Another step he has taken is that he's turned the church into a field hospital to help anyone in need. The Pope has many similarities with Swami. Some of these include the same view on our earth, they both disagree with greed, and they both want to help whoever they can, as well as spread love around the world. Pope Francis says, total openness to serving others is our hallmark. It alone is our title of honor. Swami says, love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. Thank you.
This is my presentation on Confucius. Confucius was a Chinese philosopher 2,500 years ago who was the pioneer of Confucianism. His way of life focused on the importance of your own personal ethics and morality and how your character could affect the world around you. He strived for order and a rigid structure in which all matters of society were fair. However, he did not think it should be imposed by force, rather by a more harmonious approach. A benevolent ruler would be present, working with his subjects to ensure a prosperous life while still keeping everyone's liberties present. His golden rule was do not do unto others what you would not want others to do unto you. His way of life relates a lot back to Swami's teachings. Swami believed that the basis of religion was love, and he spread the word of devotion and peace so that everyone may live better lives. Confucius' teachings can also relate back to Swami's tenfold path of divinity. For example, love all men without distinction. Know that mankind is a single community. Relates back to Confucius' focus on personal ethics and how it relates to everyone in order to create a harmonious society. Another one of Swami's commandments is observe the laws of state and become an exemplary citizen. This relates back to Confucius' focus on law and order in society to create a better environment for all. Thank you.
Who is Ravi Shankar? Ravi Shankar was born on May 13, 1956. He's a religious leader who is also known as Sri Sri, Guruji, or Gurudev. In the 70s, Ravi Shankar was an apprentice of Mahesh Yogi, the creator of Transcendental Meditation. Later on, he split from Transcendental Meditation and founded the Art of Living Education. How Ravi Shankar inspired the world. Ravi Shankar inspired the world by developing and creating many NGOs. For example, the Art of Living Foundation is a volunteer-based organization to contribute social support to the people. Also, he has laid the foundation of an NGO known as the International Association for Human Values in Geneva in the year 1997, which carries the objective of establishing shared global values by engaging in relief works and rural development. How his teachings relate to Swami's teachings. A teaching that I can relate to Ravi Shankar, that I can connect to Ravi Shankar is love all, serve all. That's because Ravi Shankar had many NGOs and they were used to help people and to guide them. Also, he has many awards of him being a great citizen and a great helper and a role model. He showed that he was always kind and he would help anybody. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Hi everyone. Today I will be going over a brief history of Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese monk. Thich Nhat Hanh was born in central Vietnam in 1926. He entered the Tu Huy Temple at the age of 16. He also founded the Engaged Buddhism movement in the war. He became dedicated to the work of inner transformation for the benefit of individuals and society. However, because of his friendly relations with Western nations, he was exiled from Vietnam for 39 years. He now lives in the Tu Huy Temple, where he teaches everyone about nonviolence. In 1961, he actually taught religion at Princeton. Also in the early 60s, he founded a grassroots organization of 10,000 volunteers based on the Buddhist principles of nonviolence and compassionate action. In 1966, he established the Order of Interbeing, a new order based on the traditional Buddhist precepts. In 1966, he traveled to the US and met Martin Luther King Jr. As mentioned before, he tried to lobby Western leaders to end the war in Vietnam. However, his greatest accomplishment is Plum Village, which he founded in 1982. Plum Village is now the West's largest and most active Buddhist monastery, with over 200 resident monastics and over 10,000 visitors every year who come from around the world to learn the art of mindful living. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you guys have learned a little bit about Thich Nhat Hanh. Saram.
Salam everyone, today I will be presenting to you about Valmiki, who is also known as the author of Ramayana. So Valmiki was born as either Ratnakara or Agni Sharma to a Brahmin family, but then was rescued by a hunter when he was lost in the forest and was raised by him afterward. He became a robber in order to support and provide for his family, and one of his encounters was with Narada, and in this encounter Narada asked him, "Why are you robbing people?" And he told him, Valmiki, to go ask his family if they're okay with how he's providing for the family. And since they were not, he came back to Narada asking for forgiveness, and he began enchanting Mata as a form of penance. And he is also sometimes referred to as Adikavi. So Valmiki has a few similar teachings to the teachings that Swami has taught us, and one of them is Valmiki treats all life equally, and this was caused by one of his own life experiences. And this verse is translated from the Ramayana, and this is also known as his first loka. So the verse translated is, "You will find no rest for the long years of eternity, for you killed the bird in love and unsuspecting." And this is similar to Sai Baba's teaching of all is one, be alike to everyone, world is one, be good to everyone, and also love all, serve all. And this is all just saying to treat all life equally. And in the Ramayana, there was a lot about the importance of family, which is somewhat similar to the lessons taught by Sai Baba that it was seen the group 4 boys played. And just a short version of that is just families be always going to be there for you. And
Sairam, my name is Abhilan Ravindran, and here's my analysis of Prophet Muhammad and how his teachings relate to Sai Baba. Prophet Muhammad was born in Mecca, Saudi Arabia in 570 CE. He was born to Abdullah ibn Abd al-Muttalib and Amina bint Wahab. He was regarded as a messenger of God and the final prophet in Islam. He was believed to be the founder of Islam after relaying the preachings of God, which he received from his revelations, to the people of the world. In Islam, there were many prophets who had spread the message of God. Each of these prophets had their own miracle. For Prophet Muhammad, his miracle was the Quran. The Quran is a book of guidance which contains knowledge about every matter/subject. One big connection between Sri Satya Sai Baba's teachings and the Prophet Muhammad's teachings are the love for God. Baba has many bhajans and teachings which praise the Lord. They talk about becoming one with Him and showing their love and affection for God. One example would be the bhajan, "Love is God, God is love." In Islam, there is a similar ideology. According to Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyya, a famous 14th century theologian from Baghdad, the core ideology in Islam is love for God, intimacy with Him, and yearning to encounter Him. Many teachings in the Quran explain what a miracle it is to find and be one with Allah or God. Another link between the two is Baba's teachings that we must love all, serve all. This is also one of the principles of Islam which attracted many people to the religion. The concept that everyone is equal and only God is allowed to judge them. Prophet Muhammad was also known as a man who freed many slaves and supported both free rights and women's rights, which also relates to equality. The end. Thank you.
Sairam all. Today, I will be presenting to you about the great Sri Ramana Maharishi. Ramana Maharishi was an Indian Hindu sage and a Jivamukta. He was born as Venkatraman Iyer, but of course was later named Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharishi. Ramana Maharishi was born in Tiruchilli, Tamil Nadu, India. In 1895, an attraction to the sacred hill Arunachalam and his 63 Nayanars was aroused in him. Later that following year, in 1896, at the age of 16, he had a spiritual awakening. He became aware of a current or force which he recognized as his true I or self, in which he later identified with the personal God or Ishvara, that is Shiva. This resulted in a state that he later described as the state of mind of Ishvara or the Yoni. 6 weeks after this experience, he left his home and journeyed to the holy mountain of Arunachalam in Tiruvannamalai. Here, he took on the life of a sannyasi and remained in Tiruvannamalai for the remainder of his life. Now, both Swami and Ramana Maharishi possessing many common principles, I decided to focus on one such principle for this presentation, that principle being devotion towards God. To summarize this from the perspective of Ramana Maharishi, I'd like to recount a moment between him and a devotee. A devotee was praying that she would have more frequent visions of Shiva. After looking at her and realizing this, he, as in Ramana Maharishi, had said to her, "Surrender to him and abide by his will. Whether he appears or disappears, await his pleasure. If you ask him to do as you like, it is not surrender, but command to God. You cannot have him obey you and yet think you are surrendered. He knows what is best and when and how to do it. He is the burden. You have no longer any cares. All your cares are his. Such is surrender. That is devotion." So, as you can see, both Swami and Ramana Maharshi emphasize the importance of devotion. As Swami once said, "Take one step towards me, and I will take one step towards you." Thank you, Sairam.
I offer my most humble pranam at the lotus feet of our Divine Mother, Sai. The girls have also prepared the research program which they will be sharing with us, and the research program is based on Adi Shankaracharya's life. So let us sit back and enjoy their presentation. Om Shri Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, everyone. As our final year as SSE students comes to an end, the graduating girls from Group 4 have prepared a short presentation on concepts that we have learned over our time as SSE students. We will be discussing the life and teachings of the great Adi Shankaracharya. Now, let's get into it. Many of you may know Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya. Some of you may not. It's quite interesting because whether you know him by name or not, many of us at Sai Center have been impacted by his teachings and have been practicing principles that he has established. He was an Indian philosopher and theologian who expounded the doctrine of Advaita Vedanta. Adi Shankaracharya is considered to be the ideal sannyasi. At only 8 years old, he renounced the worldly pleasures and left home in search of his guru. Shankaracharya explained the existence of one supreme being and that the 6 supreme deities are part of one divine power. Hinduism, being a dynamic and all-encompassing religion, stands as an ample testimony to the deeds of Adi Shankaracharya. His invaluable contribution towards Hinduism was the reordering and restructuring of the ancient sannyasa order. Shankaracharya also founded 4 monasteries called the 4 Matas that continue to spread his teachings.
Adi Shankaracharya was born in 788 CE in Kaladi, Kerala, India. Adi Shankara's parents were childless for many years. They prayed at the Vadakunathan temple in Thrissur, Kerala for the birth of a child. Legend has it that Shiva appeared to both husband and wife in their dreams and offered them a choice: a mediocre son who would live a long life, or an extraordinary son who would not live long. Both the parents chose the latter. Thus, a son was born to them. He was named Shankara, Sanskrit for bestower of happiness, in honor of Shiva, one of whose epithets is Shankara. His father died while Shankara was very young. Shankara's Upanyanam, the initiation into student life, was performed at the age of 5. As a child, Shankara showed remarkable scholarship, mastering the 4 Vedas by the age of 8. Following the customs of those days, Shankara studied and lived at the home of his teacher. It was customary for students and men of learning to receive bhiksha from the laity. On one occasion, while accepting bhiksha, Shankara came upon a woman who had only a single dried amalaka fruit to eat. Rather than consuming this last bit of food herself, the pious lady gave away the fruit to Shankara as bhiksha. Moved by her piety, Shankara composed the Kanakadara Stotra on the spot. Legend has it that on completion of the stotra, golden amalaka fruits were showered upon the woman by Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth.
Now we'll be talking about life. From a young age, Shankara was attracted to sannyasa, which translates to monastic life. His mother was against him becoming a monk. He then encountered a near-death experience with a crocodile, which led to his mother giving him permission to be sannyasin at the moment of death. Shankara then left Kerala and traveled towards North India in search of a guru, and eventually met Govinda Bhagavatpada and managed to become his disciple. Adi Shankara calmed a flood from the Reva river by placing his kamandalu, which is water pot, in the path of the raging water, thus saving his guru, who was engaged in samadhi in a cave nearby. Adi Shankara also gave his disciple the name Padmapada, which is lotus-footed one. Meeting with Mandara Mishra, Kumaraila Bhatta asked Adi Shankara to proceed to Mahismati to meet Mandana Mishra and debate with him. Adi Shankara had a famous debate with Mandana Mishra, in which the wife of Mandana Mishra, Ubayabharati, was a referee. After debating for over 15 days, Mandana Mishra accepted defeat. Ubayabharati then challenged Adi Shankara to have a debate with her on the subject of Kamasastra in order to complete the victory. Later, Ubayabharati declined the debate with him and allowed Mandana Mishra to accept sannyasa with the monastic name.
During his travels across India, he established 4 matas to unify the scattered and diverse groups of sannyasis. They were established in 4 cardinal points of India. Each of these matas were assigned one of the 4 Vedas, a Mahavakya, and the task of preservation for posterity. Sringeri Sharadapidam was the first monastery found by Adi Shankaracharya. It is located at the southern part of India along the banks of Tunga. Sringeri Sharadapidam was formed on the basis of Yajud Veda. Dvarakapida. Dvarakapida is located in the western part of India and was formed on the basis of Samaveda. Jyotirmadapidam. This monastery is located in the northern part of India. Jyotirmadapidam was formed on the basis of Atharva Veda. Govidanamada. Govidanamada is located in the eastern part of India and was formed on the basis of Rig Veda.
The very fact that the Hindu religion is still a dynamic and vastly followed religion is a testament to the deeds of Adi Shankaracharya. During the years 700 to 750 CE, Hinduism began to decline in its number of followers due to the influence of Buddhism and Jainism, and it became divided into innumerable sectors, such as the atheist and theistic sectors. Adi Shankaracharya took it upon himself to stress the importance of Vedas by traveling on foot to various parts of India, and through this was able to help Hinduism regain strength and popularity. A well-known verse that was recited in Smarta tradition in praise of Adi Shankaracharya was Shruti Smriti Puranana Malayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram.
Shankaracharya challenged various eminent scholars and the leaders of various religious sects in vigorous disputes. They championed their own interpretations of the scriptures, but the wise sage was easily able to overcome all of them and make them understand the wisdom of his teachings. These men of stature then accepted Shankaracharya as their guru. Considered to be an incarnation of Lord Shiva, Sri Shankaracharya lived only a short lifespan of 32 years. Nevertheless, there are many inspiring legends about his life.
There are many Viscounts of how Adi Shankaracharya attained Mahasamadhi. A popular belief is that Adi Shankaracharya retired to the Himalayas around the age of 32. He was last seen entering a cave in Kedarnath by one of his disciples. The cave he entered was considered his final resting place. On the right, there is a photo of the Kedarnath temple in Kedarnath, Uttarakhand. There are 12 Jyotirlingas in all of India. The photo on the left shows all the different locations of where the Jyotirlingas can be found. The Kedarnath Lingam is one of the 12 Jyotirlingas in all of India, and it is located within the Kedarnath temple. Adi Shankaracharya merged with the Kedarnath Lingam, and it is believed that he is still spreading his divinity to this day.
Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam, iga samsare bahutustare, iga samsare bahutustare, kripaya pare pagi murare, kripaya pare pagi murare.
We really appreciate all of your efforts in making this project about Sri Adi Shankaracharya. We are very sure our SSE children will benefit from it. Thank you.
Kids moving from pre-SSE to Group 1. Riyansi Senthil. Kids moving from Group 1 to Group 2. Sia Gupta, Sahana Swaprahasam, Sayana Diljur, Satya Gustafson, Saran Danasudan, Rudvi Rambur, Rishi Mahadevan. Kids moving from Group 2 to Group 3. Shriya Srivatsava, Jia Senthil Kumar, Amiya Gupta, Preksha Jain. Kids moving from Group 2 to Group 3, Akshay Gatu, Shubhahan Rambur, Amit Sivaprahasam, Paradhan Palak Sri Kukan, Duru Mahadevan, Rafael Durek. Kids moving from Group 3 to Group 4, Biduran Balasri Kukan, Pranavan Jagadiswaran, Taboran Sodhivannan, Sarajan Satish, Ashwin Vamadevan, Archana Sukumaran. SSC Group 4 graduating students, Saira Amutan, Tanya Muralidharan, Divya Dusyandan, Asmita Ajandan, Madhumai Jagadiswaran, Prajum Vasudev. Congratulations.
Ottawa Carlton Sai Centre now presents this year's SSC graduates. Sairam everyone, with a great pleasure I am here to introduce our Group 4 boy who is graduating. It is Pradyum Vasudev. I had a great pleasure to teach with him, interact with him for last few years. It was very great to work with him. He's a child or student who is willing to take anything that we ask him to do, and such as any roles in the play, to do any presentations and stuff like that. He's very accommodative, very good student. We are going to definitely miss him for sure, but at the same time we pray to Swami to bless him for his future and guide him throughout his life. Now I will ask Pradyum to say a few words about his experience in Sai Center. Thank you so much, Pradyum. Congratulations and good luck with your future. Swami will be always with you. Sai.
My humble pronouns at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Greetings everyone, my name is Pradyum Vasudev and I am one of the graduates for the 2021 SSC class. I started with SSC back in 2011 when my family and I had just moved to Canada. I would look forward to every Sunday to come into Sai Center and to see everyone and often stay for bhajans. It was a nice way to start my week. Fast forward a few years into Group 3 and I had Gigi Uncle as my guru. I learned quite a lot in his class due to the more discussion-oriented lessons and the fact that we delved more into Swami's teachings, discourses, books, and many other facets in which his knowledge was shared. It helped me delve deep into my own spirituality and deepen my connection to Swami. In Group 4, it was the same concept, but a much more hands-on approach, and we delved into even more of Swami's teachings and discourses. COVID-19 changed a lot in the sense that everything was now purely online, which led to a lot less engaging conversation, and that's understandable. It certainly is a challenge online, since there's much less interactivity and face-to-face discussion. Instead, it's more stagnant conversation. I also experienced this in regular online school, so at least it's come into place. Nonetheless, I feel like we were able to overcome some of the challenges and present meaningful projects on auspicious events. My spirituality developed much further in Groups 3 and 4, as it was much more in-depth and interactive. I felt more connected to Swami due to understanding his teachings and ideals more. In Group 4, I also started doing some seva, volunteering at Shepherds of Good Hope on a mostly monthly basis. The seva helped me deepen my connection to Swami, as I felt I was helping those less fortunate through direct service. In addition, the yearly plays were always a fun thing to be a part of. It was one of the ways to show our devotion to Swami and to spend time with friends practicing extra early on Sundays and a few Saturdays. It was always a joy to present on those weekday or weekend nights in front of several people and in front of Swami. Those are memories I will never forget. The walk of values every summer were also events that are fortunately forever my memories and were always a pleasure to take part in. I would like to express my gratitude to all my gurus for helping me deepen my connection to Swami through various ways and to make SSE an enjoyable experience. The SSE experience would not be the same without you, and I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I would like to thank my friends for making SSE all the more fun and enjoyable every Sunday. I would like to thank my parents for bringing me to SSE every Sunday and also often staying for bhajans. Lastly, I would like to thank Swami for being the source of all these memories that will carry with me throughout my life and the endless inspiration. Thank you and Sairam.
Thank you, Pradyum, for those kind words. Anand and I had the pleasure of having Pradyum the last 3 years in Group 4. He shared with us his bowling skills in 2019 when the Group 4s went bowling and didn't mind taking the bus, I think, for an hour to come from Orleans to participate. He's a very serious person in class, which is nice because he pays attention, but he likes to hang out with his friends and do all kinds of fun activities too. He will be going into the software engineering program at Ottawa U. May Swami continue to bless you and guide you throughout your career and studies at university, and we wish you all the best. Sairam.
Hey Pradyum, congrats and best wishes to you. Good luck to you moving forward to university, and I wish all the best for you.
Hey Pradyum, congrats. Wish you all the best for the near future.
Hey Pradyum, looks like you're moving on to university. From what I remember, you've been in this program together since day one, and you've made some fond memories, but I'm sure you'll continue to make those in university. So, good luck to you.
Hey Pradyum, congratulations. Hope you do well at university and your future career.
Hey Pradyum, seems like you're taking the next big step in life, and we had some really great times at Sci Center. Just want to wish you the best of luck in uni.
Sairam Pradyum, hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoyed your last year of taking SSC classes in your pajamas. Even though I won't see you in class, I hope to see you at Shepherd's. See ya, man.
Hey Pradyum, I hope you're doing well. Just wanted to wish some good luck to you, and I know you're going to do great things. Just keep on going, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I've been busy with work and I've been busy with life.
My son, wherever you go, think about home. Whatever you do, think about family.
Yes, Mom. I realize that now.
Today we are honored and excited to present 5 girls who will be graduating SSC program. The uniqueness about these 5 girls is that they all started Balvikas from pre-SSC, becoming an exemplary example of completing Swami's SSC graduation program. The first girl who will be graduating is Asmita, with her preceding element as air, spontaneous, full of smile, lots of energy. On the academic side, she will be going to Western University, major in business management and organizational studies. Our second girl who is graduating is Divya. Her preceding element is earth. She is so composes of all the elements in her. On the academic side, she'll be going to Carleton University pursuing software systems engineering. The third girl who will be graduating is Manamai. Her preceding element is sound, space, As we all know, she enchants and mesmerizes Swami and us all with her beautiful ragas and bhajans. On the academic side, she will be going to Western University, pursuing her career in medical sciences program. The fourth girl who will be graduating today is Saira. Her preceding element is fire. She is full of light, multitasking. You give her any task and she will complete it. On the academic side, she'll be going to Waterloo University, pursuing her career in computer engineering program. And the fifth girl who will be graduating is Tarnia. Her preceding element is water. She takes the shape of whatever it is given to her. You have seen her performance during Swami's birthday, enacting a role perfectly as a role. No matter what role, she takes that role character in her and performs the best. She is water for us. On the academic side, she'll be going to Waterloo University, pursuing her career in honors of accounting and financial management. She also wants to pursue her career in future and being an entrepreneur.
Now it's our great pleasure in presenting Swami's Panjatala Pushpam, the 5 petal lotuses, who's going to open one by one. Let's hear from the first petal, Ashmita.
Sairam, uncles, aunties, students, parents, and gurus. I remember when SSE used to take place in the evenings, and I would come home and basically go straight to bed afterwards. I remember dreading the fact that SSE classes got moved to the mornings because I cherished sleeping in that much. But despite all that, I truly love coming to center every week and getting to spend time with my friends. I look forward to the 3 hours of peace and serenity that I would get to experience on Sunday morning. Other than having some of the best peace of my life at Sai Center, I also happen to learn a lot. Coming to SSE since I was a child has had a huge impact on my life. The lessons I have learned through SSE have shaped me as a person. A large takeaway that was instilled in me at a young age was to treat everyone with love, regardless of race, gender, sexuality, and religion. I have also learned to value every religion and the differing beauty each one holds. This has greatly impacted my worldview and my approach to life. Looking back, a specific story comes to mind. I was super young and super excited to go to my best friend's birthday party, which was happening early Sunday afternoon. As a kid, the choice of going to SSE class or to my friend's birthday party was an easy one. Obviously, I would go to my friend's birthday party. However, my mom got a call from Sheila Auntie, urging me to come to class. My mom obliged, and I was really upset with her decision. However, the next day turned out to be an art competition, which I happened to win. So obviously, I was super happy with my mom's decision. From this, I realized that everything works out for the best, and everything happens for a reason. Branching out into the real world is a scary and daunting thing, but I have no doubt that with everything me and my fellow graduates have learned, that we will strive to be good citizens and treat everyone with nothing but love and kindness. I would finally like to thank my parents for bringing me to SSE every week and quite literally forcing me out of bed. I would like to thank the Sai Center community and of course my amazing gurus who have put so much time and effort into making each one of us SSE children the best version of ourselves that we can be. Sairam.
Thank you, Asmita, for those thoughts. Our next petal on the flower is Divya.
Sairam aunties, uncles, and fellow brothers and sisters. At the age of 4 years old, like most of the graduating class, I began my journey in the Satya Sai education program. Now before starting, I wasn't really sure what to expect coming in, as I didn't know much about Sai Baba. But what I wasn't expecting was it to instantly become a safe haven for me. The atmosphere was something I look forward to every week, especially these last couple years, as I found it was the best place to unwind and collect my thoughts. Through the many years, Sai Center had become the place I made such great friends, learned great lessons, and most of all made the best memories. I will always cherish the endless laughter we shared during class, the Seva projects we partook in, preparing for Swami's birthday, and even summer camp to name a few. I'd like to thank all my gurus over the years as they all taught me the importance of discipline and Seva activity. The values and lessons instilled in me are ones that will stick for a lifetime. Secondly, I'd like to thank my parents for introducing me to the center as they put me on the path to beginning my spiritual journey. I'd like to thank all the coordinators for all the time and effort put in over the years, especially in a regular year, making the whole experience so fun for us youth, from the small things like snack time to guest speakers and to big events such as Swami's birthday. But most of all, I'd like to thank Swami for the years of guidance, especially in these years leading up to adulthood. Congratulations to my fellow peers and good luck on your future endeavors. Sairam.
Thank you, Divya, for those sweet memories. Our next petal is Madhumai.
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. I still cannot believe that today is the day that I, along with 4 of my closest friends, will be graduating from SSE. I've been coming to the center since I was 4 years old. I still remember the beginning of my journey at SSE. I was always a child that cried the instant my parents left me alone at the center. I sure was quite the nightmare for all of my gurus. But over the years, the center has become a second home to me. I enjoyed coming and looked forward to coming to the center every Sunday because it brought me a sense of peace that is difficult to describe in words. That's why this last year and a half has been quite difficult for many of us. I missed physically being at the center, to be taught face to face by my gurus, to see my friends, and to be able to sing bhajans in the prayer hall. But that's why I'm beyond grateful for the organization of the center and all of the gurus for organizing virtual SSE classes so I can still be learning Swami's teachings and have that feeling of comfort of SSE. I also would like to thank every single auntie, uncle, youth, and senior that has even the smallest of connections with me, because their impact on me has truly molded the person I am today. I would like to thank my parents for bringing me to the center every single week, and especially for not allowing me to stop attending SSE, even when I made a fuss about it constantly. I would like to thank the bhajan coordinators at the Sai Center for encouraging me to sing bhajans even when I was a very nervous and questionable singer. I still remember how they all used to make fun of me and say that I held the mic as though it was going to eat me. And finally, I would like to thank Saira, Divya, Tarnia, and Asmita for always sticking with me from the days that we used to doodle during bhajans and have competitions over who can eat the most smiley potatoes, and who I know will continue to stick with me. But I wouldn't have these people to thank and these experiences to reminisce without Swami, because he is the creator of all my experiences and the mastermind behind all my accomplishments and failures. So I know that after today, when I have graduated, not much would have really changed, because Swami will always be with me.
A beautiful reflection, Madhumai. Thank you. Our 4th petal is Saira.
Sairam, uncles, aunties, brothers, and sisters. I can't believe that I'm actually graduating. It feels like just yesterday that I was running around causing trouble with the other graduating girls in pre-SSE. When I look back, some of my most precious memories have been spent at the center. From staying late on Saturday nights to practice for Swami's birthday, to waking up early mornings for bhajans, from numerous plays, art contests, birthdays, weddings, and serve activities, I spent a large part of my life at the center. The center is like my second home, and the Sai Center community is like my second family. The values and lessons that I've learned throughout the years have helped shape my character, my thoughts, and my actions. SSE has helped me establish patience and discipline and reminded me that Swami will always take care of me. I first felt close to Swami when I went to Puttaparthi in 2009. But even after I left India, I always felt his presence around me. I am extremely grateful to my parents for introducing me to the center and supporting me constantly. I am also very thankful to all of my gurus. You have taught me so many valuable lessons and helped raise me to be the person that I am today. Now, although the graduating girls may be separating and going off to pursue different careers, the universal values that we learned and the relationship with Swami that we have built will be with us forever. I look forward to this new chapter in both university and as a Sai Center youth, and I know that both Swami and my Sai Center family will be there for me always as I continue to grow.
Thank you, Syra, for sharing. Our last, but not least, fifth petal is Tarnia.
Sairam Guru's parents, uncles, aunties, students, and fellow peers, it is truly a pleasure to be able to do a speech during these tough times of COVID. I would like to start by thanking all the people who made this Sai Center experience the most memorable one. From all of my gurus for teaching me lifelong lessons about Swami's teachings that will be used as learning experiences in my future. To my parents for supporting my Sai Center journey through waking me up and dropping me off to center every Sunday. And to God for being a source of guidance for all these past years of my life. I would also like to thank the aunties in the kitchen for allowing us to stay for an extra 5 minutes at snack break every week, while also preparing delicious cooked meals for lunch. From attending the center from an age of 3 years old, I always thought the best part of the center was the food. But I then realized that it was still the food, but it was also sharing this SSE experience with my peers who were going through the same life routine as myself. I feel that in life we're always moving forward with our own busy schedules, and the Sai Center was always a way to disconnect from that and reflect on what is the most important thing in life, and that is our values and understanding that God will always be there during challenging times. I felt that I also obtained new skills from taking part in the program, like understanding how to organize an event and taking leadership opportunities when necessary. Not only did I gain skills from the SSE program, but I also had the chance to change my way of thinking to helping others before helping yourself. This was because of the center constantly preaching this ideology, and specifically them telling us to help those in need. Finally, I would like to thank everyone who's part of the center that made this the most memorable experience of my life, and for helping all of us students become more aware and confident individuals. Sairam.
Thank you, Tanya, for sharing your experiences with all of us. Now we have heard from the famous five. Their friends have something to share for them. Let's see what the surprise is about. Thank you, Syra.
Siram girls, who is supposed to say the prayers today?
Divya said that she would do them this week.
Well, I don't see her, and no one else has arrived yet. Can you or Drishna say them? Aradhana?
I said them last week.
Okay, I guess it's me. Oh.
Sorry guys, I'll do the prayers next week. I promise.
Asmita, maybe you can answer first? Well, Auntie, knowing is particular to the soul. To know is to understand. The question is already answered in its asking. But Asmita, you didn't really answer the question. I can ask the next person if you want. The universe is trying to convey a message, and it takes great understanding of the spirit within to fully comprehend the meaning of the message.
What is she even talking about? The question was, how are you? Classic Asmita.
One cannot truly answer the question if the soul is not aware of its true purpose. Okay, today we are going to talk about Swami's discourse about truth. Swami says, for all living beings, food is most indispensable. Without food, no being is born. The sun provides food in the sense that it brings us rains, which in turn helps the crops to grow. The Upanishads declare that food originates from Satya. It consists of 3 syllables.
Is she singing now? I can't even concentrate on what's being taught in class. Madhumi's bottles are too distracting.
Drishna, what did you think of the discourse?
Oh no, I didn't catch any of it. Thanks a lot, Madhumi.
Everyone's answers were great. Okay, next we will discuss. Oh, Tarnia, you didn't say anything. In fact, I don't see you. Can you turn your camera on?
Oh, yeah, 1 second.
Saidam, would you like to add anything? I agree with everyone else. Okay, moving on.
Tarnia's laughing again. Her laugh is so contagious.
So, girls, what did you discuss this week for the project we're working on? I think maybe Syra has an idea.
Oh, well, I had an idea, but I don't know if the other girls will like it. I was thinking of doing a research.
We love it.
Yeah, let's do exactly what Syra says. Her ideas are the best.
Oh, okay, that works. So, who's in charge? Syra. She'll take care of everything. You know, the script, filming, editing.
Oh, okay.
Hi guys, we hope that you enjoyed our exaggerated reenactments. Please excuse our editing. We know it's nowhere near Syra's skills.
In all seriousness, we're gonna miss you guys more than you can imagine. Thank you for being the older sisters we've always wanted.
You all have very bright futures, and we know that you're going to do amazing things.
We would like to leave you with one inspirational line from our legendary, iconic parody from last year.
Now is your time to shine. Get ready for the ride.
With Swami by your side, promise it will be alright. Sairam.
Saidam.
I hope graduating girls love the surprise video for you all. We wish you all the very best of spiritual and academic life. Om Shri Sai Ram.
Thank you, Group 4 girls and boys. That was a great program. So our next program, it's graduation ceremony. So this is the one that we all waited for. Are you all excited now? Are you ready? Okay. Now I would like to call Group 4 Guru Brother Anand to present the certificate for Pradyum Vasudev. Congratulations, Pradyum. Next, I would like to call Group 4 Girls Guru Sister Punita and Sister Amita to present the certificates for Group 4 Girls. The graduating girls are Asmita Ajantan, Divya Dushyantan, Madhumai Jagadeeswaran, Saira Amutan. The last not the least, Tanya Muralidharan. Thank you, Gurus. Congratulations on completing the SSE program. We are so proud of you and pray that Swami continues to guide you on this next chapter of your life. Congratulations again. Next, we have a speaker. This is a surprise for our Group 4 girls. They requested a female guest speaker for Ishwarama Day. We are very fortunate to find the female speaker for today's program. Thank you, Deepavali, for making the girls' wishes come true. Our guest speaker today is Meera Ramdath. I will say a few words about Meera Ramdath. Meera Ramdath is a Sai alumnus who was born in Canada and had the opportunity of studying in the Sri Satya Sai Institute for 15 years. She left for India in 1985 at the tender age of 5 when she joined Sri Satya Sai Primary School under the guidance and instruction of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. She continued on in the Sri Satya Sai Higher Secondary School and thereafter at the Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, graduating from Bachelor of Commerce Honours Program. Upon her return to Canada in May 2001, she has been highly involved in Sai organization in Canada as well as in Trinidad, particularly the Sri Satya Sai Baba Center of Peel, for which she has been for education coordinator for several years. She uses her musical talent, for which she has been recognized by Swami himself, to organize several cultural and musical programs in Canada, India, and Trinidad. Meera has a Master of Science in Education with her studies focusing on human values and multiculturalism. She's an encouraging author and illustrator of children's literature, with her books spreading the message of the human values through creative stories. Meera has been teaching for 14 years. Currently, teaches at private school where she will begin her journey as the Vice Principal in September 2021. Without further delay, I would like to welcome Meera Ramdath, followed by word of thanks from my co-education coordinator, Sister Deepavali Arun. Thank you, Saira.
There was once a man, and upon going through life and meeting God at the gates of heaven, got into a conversation with God. And he said to God, you know, throughout my life, I've been grateful that you've been with me, that you've always guided me, you've always helped me, you've always been there for me. However, my Lord, every time that I was in difficulty and I looked at those footprints in the sand, I saw only one set of footprints. Why did you abandon me? Why did you leave me alone? How could you do that to me? Upon him saying this, God responded to him and said, my child, in those times when you were facing difficulty, in those horrendous times when you thought you were alone, the reason why you saw one pair of footprints is because that, my son, was when I carried you upon my shoulders so that you could get through it. My most humble salutations at the lotus feet of my beloved mother, Sai, revered elders, brothers, and sisters, sign on. Congratulations, SSE graduates, upon completing the SSE program. You probably do not feel it, but you have done tremendous growing through the years. And when I say growing, I'm not merely referring to physical growth. I'm referring to spiritual growth. You'll find that your faith in God has grown. You'll find that your love for God has grown. Your ability to surrender to God has grown. As much as graduation is a joyous occasion, it is also one that comes with a feeling of anticipation or even anxiety. Maybe we wonder if Swami will continue to remain by our sides, even in those times when we make a mistake. Would he abandon us? We wonder about that. We wonder about the why, the when, the who, the what, the hows. I completely can relate to that. When I had to leave Swami's abode, Prashanti, my biggest fear was that I did not want to leave. I did not want to be physically away from Swami. And so I decided that I was going to do something about it. So when I graduated from my BCom, I decided that I was going to write a letter to Swami, asking him, or telling him that I wanted to do B.Ed. That would give me one more year to stay in his school and one more year of heavenly bliss. So I wrote a letter to Swami and I asked him that because BCom students didn't have any other programs they could get into like MCom, I asked him if I could go ahead and do B.Ed. So the B.Ed program was a year long. I wrote this letter and my father was not aware of this. I sent the letter through the then warden of the institute, who passed on the letter to Swami directly, as a fax actually. And when Swami got the letter, he read it, and his first response to my letter to the warden was, "She has beautiful handwriting, no?" Now, the warden at the time was not aware that my father wasn't aware that I had sent this letter to Swami. So when he saw my father, he told my father that Swami complimented my handwriting and said it was beautiful. My father was a little bit shocked because he didn't know about this letter and he didn't know what the contents of this letter is or was. Swami ended up calling us for interview, and at the time, when I told Swami in my letter that I didn't want to go back, he decided to start telling me that I can apply to the SK University, which is right next to Anantapur campus, and apply to do MCA. I was overjoyed because then Swami also told me that I could stay at the Anantapur campus hostel, and whenever they came for darshan, then I would come for darshan with them, and I would still have the experience of being a student. So I was all happy about this. In the meantime, Swami had a separate conversation with my father and told him, "Take her back. I'm going to tell her that you're going for holidays, because if you don't tell her that, she's not going to go with you." Now, when I found this out, you probably realized that I wasn't too happy about it. But Swami knew what was best for me, and at the time, instead of leaving everything in his hands, I tried to put everything in my own hands. But Swami knew how to handle me. My biggest fear, like I said, was Swami not physically being there, right? But now when I think back and I have a greater appreciation for my life's landscape, it reminds me of the analogy that Swami once gave about this type of snake. It's a snake with a luminous gem on its head, at the back of its head. And this snake is always wondering where this light is coming from. And it goes to the point where it is so frustrated that it starts to hit itself onto the rock, almost killing itself because it's looking for where this light is. And Swami said, we are like that. Because we, that gem, symbolizes God. And we're looking everywhere around the world, everywhere, in every temple, in every mosque, in every church, in every place of worship. We're looking for God when He resides right within our hearts. In SSE Group 1, one of the first prayers that are taught to us is Twameva Mata. In life, this prayer makes more and more sense as the days go by. We start to relate to it on a daily basis. Let us say it together before I emphasize my point further. Twameva Mata, Chapita Twameva, Twameva Bandhuscha, Sakha Twameva, Twameva Vidya, Dravinam Twameva, Twameva Sarvam, Mama Deva Deva. This prayer means, Lord, you are my mother, you are my father, you are my friend and my confidant. You are my wealth, my knowledge, and my all. My name is Mira. To my husband, I'm a wife. To my parents, I'm a daughter. To my sibling, I'm a sister. If I can have so many entities just as a regular human being seated here, then why can't Swami have all those representations in our lives? In my life, I have been fortunate and blessed to have experienced Swami in each one of these roles. As my parents, as my mother, father, Twameva Mata, Chapita Twameva. When I had first joined the school in Prashanti, I was 5 years old, a Canadian who had now just gone to India and was put into a hostel, something that was very different. It was almost a very unique experience in all ways. And at the time, yes, I did miss home. In fact, I stayed by the office most times, just crying, asking when I could go home. And one day when Swami came out for darshan, I was crying. And he asked me, what's wrong? Do you miss your brother? And I said, yes, I do, Swami. All he said to me was, don't worry, I'll arrange. And the very next Sunday, Swami had made sure that either the headmistress auntie, warden auntie, or kitchen auntie, one of them, would take me to the boys' hostel, wait for me for an hour while I visited with my brother, and then bring me back to school. Now, I also say this, that in the history of the Satya Sai institutions, never has this been done. It was their duty to take me every Sunday evening to the boys' hostel to meet with my brother, have my sibling meeting, or parent meeting as we would say, and then come back to school. On another occasion, one morning, when we woke up, we would normally go line up to get toothpaste on our toothbrushes, and, well, for this morning, I couldn't find my toothbrush. I looked wherever I could, and I couldn't find it. So the next best thing was to go stand in line, and I got toothpaste on my finger to go brush my teeth. By the time I took a shower and came downstairs, my father was sitting in the lobby with a toothbrush in his hand. Why? Because apparently when Swami came out for darshan that morning, Swami told him that I couldn't find my toothbrush and that I brushed my teeth with my finger and that I needed a toothbrush. And so my father came to school with a toothbrush. Another occasion when we were returning from Uti, Swami had stopped his car. We had left Uti very early in the morning. Somewhere around Mysore, Swami had stopped the car, and Swami called us and asked us if we had breakfast. We had told Swami no. Swami ended up giving us a tiffin carrier with hot upma, along with bowls and cutlery to have breakfast. Now, when you think back of the people who would do these things in our lives, it's normally our parents. Twameva bandhuscha sakha twameva. You are my best friend, my confidant. Normally, we think of friends right now as a person that we can tell everything to. Over the years, I've learned the person who is your friend is usually the person who will tell you the truth, even when you don't want to hear it. This one time, I got into trouble, and I ended up getting tape on my mouth, along with a few other of my friends, and I wasn't too happy about it. Swami called us for interview, and when he called us for interview, I decided to complain to him and tell him, Swami, the teachers put tape on my mouth. And so I did. I complained. Swami's first response to me at the time was, what did you do? I explained to Swami, and then Swami said, well, the teacher is now going to know who exactly did what, because you were with a whole group of friends of yours who also got into trouble. Now, she's not going to ask each and every one of you. Your company will decide what happens. You have to watch your company. That was Swami's lesson to me. Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva. Swami is your guru, your teacher. When I was in 12th standard, for the first time, Swami had asked 12th standard students to sing for Akhand Bhajans. So I was sitting in the bhajan hall. I was a bhajan singer as well as a harmonium player. I had the harmonium right in front of me. And I was playing, and after a while, sitting there, it's crammed. It's very crammed in there. My legs started to cramp. And so I put my legs up like this. As soon as I did that, Swami looked at me. And he kept staring at me, and it got a little bit uncomfortable, so I decided to straighten up, put my legs down, and sat properly, and Swami turned away. In my head, I thought to myself, I wonder, could it be because I sat like that? And so I put my legs up again. And Swami looked at me again, and he did not turn away until I put my legs down. Akhand Bhajans went for that year, and then we moved on. I went to Anantapur, Akhand Bhajans, my first year, university. I was sitting in the same spot again, harmonium in front of me, and the same cramps came on. I forgot completely about the year before, and so I put my legs up, and as soon as I did that, Swami looked at me again. And I remembered, okay, this happened last year, and I put my legs down. But then again, I thought to myself, I wonder if really that is why Swami is looking at me. And so I put my legs up again. And when I did put my legs up, Swami looked at me, but this time he didn't look too thrilled or too impressed, actually. He had this very stern look, and I think everybody else around me realized that Swami was looking at somebody, so they also started to look around to see who exactly Swami was looking at. And uncomfortable, I finally put my legs down. Silly me decided to test the theory one more time. And so I put my legs up. And as soon as I did, Swami turned and he looked at me. I cannot tell you what is the reason. I don't know why, but it obviously is something that we aren't supposed to do. And from that day onwards, I have never sat with my legs up during bhajans. Tvameva sarva mama deva deva. You are my almighty Lord. Sometimes we wonder, what is God, or who is God, or if Swami is actually God. In the form of Krishna, Swami said, offer to me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, even a drop of water with love and devotion, and I'll accept it. When I think of that, I always think about when I was younger and I wanted to write a letter, because everybody was writing letters to Swami. And so I wrote my letter to Swami, but I was too young to actually know how to write. All I knew was the alphabet, so I wrote, Dear Baba. I wrote the entire alphabet, A to Z, and I closed off my letter with Love, Mira. And Swami took it. But in that letter, Swami read everything that I wanted, even though all I had written was the simple alphabet. And that's the kind of faith, and that's the kind of trust that we have to have in Swami. We probably will have times when we question ourselves, is Swami truly with me? Is he there? Will he always be there? And Swami's given us a story from the Mahabharata when Draupadi was in the court of the Kauravas. When she called Krishna for help at the time and she was being humiliated, she called, O Dwarakavasi. Krishna didn't respond. Om Vrindavan Sanchari, O Vrindavan Sanchari. He didn't respond. Finally, when she said, O Hridaya Nivasi, that's when Krishna responded. And Swami said, When she asked, "Why did you take so long to come to me?" Krishna said to her, "When you said Dwarka Vasi, I had to go all the way to Dwarka. When you said Vrindavan Sanchari, then I had to go all the way to Vrindavan. But when you said Hriday Nivasi, I was right there with you." That's a lesson that should always stay with us. Remember to have faith in Swami and to be the leaders that you have been equipped to be. Joe Dudley defines leadership as the ability to make someone's life better by saying or doing something. It is about creating a lollipop moment and acknowledging them and embracing our light rather than fearing it. It is making an impact on each other's lives, not with money, power, or even titles. A lollipop moment is when a person does something that is so amazing, it changes or impacts a life. What seems a little event at the time can later result into something huge. In life, we don't always know how important our actions are really, but they are. Leadership is about changing the world, by changing people's understandings, by being agents of change. If we can redefine leadership, we can change everything. Promise to be future leaders and to have faith in Swami. Let Swami expedite his master plan. Trust him. We are mere instruments. When things seem challenging, let us remember those footsteps in the sand, and let us remember these lyrics. When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be. Jai Saram.
My most loving and humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of my beloved Mother Sai. Sairam, dear parents, gurus, children, and all devotees. Today is Father's Day, and how fortunate are we to be at His presence and wish our beloved Bhagavan, my divine Father, a very happy Father's Day. And a happy Father's Day to all the dads. It was amazing to see how beautifully the Group 4 students put together what they learned in the year. Very nice presentations, Group 4 boys and girls. Hearty congratulations to all the kids who graduated to the next group and to the 6 students who are moving from SSE to the youth wing. We hope you will keep in touch with our center and join the youth group wherever you are. During Ishwaramba Day program, the Group 4 girls had expressed a desire to have women speakers. And keeping that in mind, I was very happy and thankful to my dear sister Meera for accepting my request. Thank you, Sister Meera, for the inspiring talk and sharing your experiences with beloved Bhagavan. As our 2-year term comes to an end, on behalf of the SSE wing, Vatsala and I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the SSE gurus. Our special needs Bhavna, Sachu, Chitra and Kasturi, SSE Bhajan Coordinator Yasotayaparan, Pre-SSE and Group 1 Ragini, Jyoti and Abhi, Group 2 Vaijayanti, Yoga and Prashantini, Group 3 Girls Nina Didi, Group 3 Boys Siva and Soti, Group 4 Girls Alpa, Amita and Punita, Group 4 Boys Anand and Prasanna for their dedication and commitment throughout the year. SSE is successful only through the triple partnership of gurus, children and parents. And so thank you to all the children, including the special needs, for attending the Sunday classes, and to the parents for their supporting and inspiring their children in their learning. Our special thanks to the audio team Anujan, AJ, Raghu and Anand, who have as usual put in hours of dedicated time and effort to edit and put together the videos. A special mention and thanks to the Group 4 student Saira for her technical help throughout the last 2 years. And thank you to our President Gigi for always being there to help and support. And in the end, I will not be doing justice if I do not thank my co-coordinator, Sister Vatsala. She always has a smile on her face and ready to do any task that I give her. Thank you, dear Sister Vatsala, for putting up with me for the last 2 years. It was a pleasure to work with you together. And as we bid farewell to our graduating children, I would like to leave you all with the 9 guidelines from Swami. Remember them as he is always with you, in you, and around you. And as published in the April 2007 edition of Navasarati, Swami says, first, quit worrying. Why fear when I am here? 2, put it on my list, for I can take care of anything if only you put it into my hands. 3, trust me, because once you have given your burdens to me, trust in me. Have the faith that I will take care of all your needs and your problems. 4, talk to me. There is only one thing I pray you will never forget. Please do not forget to talk to me often. I love you. I want you to include me in on the things going on in your life. I want to hear you talk about your friends and family. Prayer is simply you are having a conversation with me. I want to be your dearest friend. 5, have faith. Have faith in me that I know what I'm doing and I will continue to care for you and meet your needs. 6, share with those who are less fortunate than you. Share your joys with those who need encouragement and share your faith with those who have none. 7, be patient. I managed to fix it so in just one lifetime, you can have so many diverse experiences. 8, be kind. Be kind to others, for I love them just as much as I love you. And 9, love yourself. As I am God of love, love me. It makes my heart ache when I see you angry with yourself for things that go wrong. You are very precious to me. And finally, on behalf of the SSE wing, Vatsala and I would like to thank you all and wish you a very great summer. Stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you all in September, hopefully in person at the center. We will now continue with the rest of the program, starting with bhajans by the graduating students, followed by Aarti and Brahmarpanam. Sai Ram.
राम रघुवर राघव सुंदर राम रघुवर परम पावना हे जगवंदना परम पावना हे जगवंदना परम पावना हे जगवंदना परम पावना हे जगवंदना राघव सुंदर राम रघुवर राघव सुंदर राम रघुवर पतितो दारना भक्त परायणा पतितो दारना भक्त परायणा पतितो दारना भक्त परायणा पतितो दारना भक्त परायणा रावण मर्दन विघ्न भंजन रावण मर्दन विघ्न भंजन रावण मर्दन विघ्न भंजन रावण मर्दन विघ्न भंजन पार्थिपुरीश्वर साई नारायण पार्थिपुरीश्वर साई नारायण पार्थिपुरीश्वर साई नारायण पार्थिपुरीश्वर साई नारायण राघव सुंदर राम रघुवर राघव सुंदर राम रघुवर परम पावना हे जगवंदना परम पावना हे जगवंदना राघव सुंदर राम रघुवर राघव सुंदर राम रघुवर पतितो दारना भक्त परायणा पतितो दारना भक्त परायणा रावण मर्दन विघ्न भंजन रावण मर्दन विघ्न भंजन पार्थिपुरीश्वर साई नारायण पार्थिपुरीश्वर साई नारायण पार्थिपुरीश्वर साई नारायण पार्थिपुरीश्वर साई नारायण राघव सुंदर राम रघुवर सर्वधर्म प्रिय देवा सर्वधर्म प्रिय देवा सर्वधर्म प्रिय देवा सर्वधर्म प्रिय देवा सत्य साई देवा सत्य साई देवा सत्य साई देवा सत्य साई देवा येशु बुद्धो नानक येशु बुद्धो नानक येशु बुद्धो नानक येशु बुद्धो नानक चोरा साई विश्वरूप तुम हो सर्वधर्म प्रिय देवा सर्वधर्म प्रिय देवा सत्य साई देवा सत्य साई देवा यीशु बुद्ध ओ नानक यीशु बुद्ध ओ नानक सौराष्ट्र महावीर तुम हो सौराष्ट्र महावीर तुम हो राम भी तुम हो कृष्ण भी तुम हो राम भी तुम हो कृष्ण भी तुम हो विश्वरूप तुम हो विश्वरूप तुम हो साई विश्वरूप तुम हो साई विश्वरूप तुम हो साई विश्वरूप तुम हो साई विश्वरूप तुम हो सर्वधर्म प्रिय देवा दीन बांधवा बाबा दया सागरा 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 पतित पावना साई करुणा करा 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 दीन बांधवा बाबा दया सागरा दीन बांधवा बाबा दया सागरा सत्य साई प्रेम साई शांति धर्म सिंधु साई 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 जीवन का तार साई जन्म जन्म बंधु 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 साई पतित स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात् ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात् ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ तत्सत् श्रीनारायण तु पुरुषोत्तम गुरुतु सिद्धबुद्ध तु सद्विनायक सविता पावक तु साई सविता पावक तु ब्रह्ममस्तु यः शक्ति तु येषु पिता प्रभुतु रुद्रविष्णु तु रामकृष्ण तु रहीमतावोतु साई रहीमतावोतु वासुदेव को विश्वरूप तु चिदानन्द हरि तु अद्वितीय तु अकाल निर्भय आत्मलिंग शिव तु साई आत्मलिंग शिव तु साई आत्मलिंग शिव तु ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्तजना संरक्षक भक्तजना संरक्षक परमहेश्वर ॐ जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आशिष कल्पलतिका आशिष कल्पलतिका आवभावा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे मातपिता गुरुदेवमरियन्दयु नीवे स्वामी मरियन्दयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्र शयन ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप मुझे शिव साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा
सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की। Om Shri Sai Ram. Sai Ram all. What a great day today. We see many people here for our graduation program. We have Balvikas kids, we have gurus, we have coordinators, we have youth, and we have parents, we have seniors. Some seniors may get offended, so some ex-youths, they all are here. Thank you so much for coming. And Group 4 girls, thank you so much for the surprise video. It's not only surprise for you guys, it's surprise for us too. Deepali and Vatsala, you know what's going on in Group 4 girls class now. We have witnessed it, and I'm just joking. Any learning should be fun-filled, so I'm supporting that. Thank you so much for that video. And the graduating kids, you have heard lots of advices and suggestions and many things. But from the center, I want to give only two things to you. One is, wherever you go, keep Swami with you. Sometimes you may not be focusing on Swami because of so many reasons, but keep a thin line connected to him. Whenever it is needed to you, that thin wire will get thicker, for sure. Swami's grace is upon you all, for sure, for your future. Keep the connection with Swami. Second thing, wherever you go in the world, there's a home here to come back to. And it doesn't matter who is here, who is not here, and how the home is, but still it's your home. I just want to keep you that. Many thanks for coming. Next, two quick announcements. One is Group 2 students, they wanted to present something today. Because of the time constraint, we couldn't do. So we will do that next week. So our next week program will start at 11:30. So keep in mind, please come. You can come now. We can accommodate 50% of our capacity. So you can come without any registration. And the second thing is, we are in a position to, we are in a position to end this term, and the next 2-year term is starting from July 1st. And the process is almost complete in announcing the president, next new president. So we will announce that next week with a small kind of a inauguration ceremony or something, whatever way you want to call. So please come. If you cannot come, please join us through our YouTube. Thank you so much. Sai Ram. Om Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihir Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaivadena Gandavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina Aham Vaishwanaru Buddhva Praninam Dehamashridaha Pranapana Samayukta Pachamyannam Chadurvidam Om Shanti Shanti शान्ति शान्तिः परमं पवित्रं विभूतिं